and welcome back to my channel. Now the first thing I'm going to say, you'll notice by both this and the title, this is the new sketchbook. Now, I know a lot of you are very eager to see my sketchbook tours, and I want to say my previous sketchbook, sketchbook 14, isn't technically complete. For the most part it is, but I'm really relying on Inktober to finish it. So as soon as Inktober is over, then I'll have a completed sketchbook to show you guys. So probably the first video of November will be a sketchbook tour. So stay tuned for that if you are interested. But in the meantime, I thought it would be really fun to start this sketchbook. Now, I actually made this sketchbook myself, and I'm not one to brag, y'all know that, but I think it's pretty dope, not gonna lie. Let me know if you guys want a video on how I made this sketchbook, because I think it's really cool. I also have binder clips in the back, my initials, all that stuff, and yeah, I think it's a really dope sketchbook. So I actually made it out of a popcorn box, so let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I did make a tiny little thumbnail of what I wanted it to draw, so that's what this is, and I'm using it to cover up the contact information that I wrote in here. My biggest complaint about it is that it doesn't exactly lay down flat. This sticks up. It's not a big issue to me, but if that's something that you care about, then I'm sorry. Like I said, I have a thumbnail. I always like to make like a little introduction page to my sketchbooks, so that's obviously what I'm going to be making today. I have a certain vision for what I want the post to be, so let's hope I can actually put that on paper. You can kind of see the green paint that I used as glue because I'm cheap and don't want to go out and buy, what's it called, PVA glue. That's a cute face. I love them. It's actually been a while since I've drawn Andy. Just been so preoccupied with other things like webcomic stuff and whatnot. Speaking of my webcomic though, try and keep you guys as updated as I can because I know a lot of you are very eager to read my webcomic. So I just want to explain that, like, first of all, if you're new here, nothing is out yet. And also it was an original goal of mine to have it out by the end of this year. And by the looks of things, that's not going to actually end up happening, which I'm bummed about. But I want you guys to know that even if I do go quiet about it, I'm pretty much always working on it behind the scenes, and I've just been getting so much work done, and it's definitely not going to be up by the end of this year, but at the same time it's absolutely 100% going to be up next year. So that's exciting, and I'm really excited for you guys to be able to read it. It's something that I've clearly been putting in a whole bunch of effort in, and I've put all of my free time into it, basically. This is supposed to be like a second light sketch layer thing, but I'm putting in a whole lot of detail into it. Normally when I sketch, I'll do like this sort of thing where I just roughly lay out the base and everything, and then I'll do a light sketch of like the character, so I'll just roughly outline their hair and their clothes and everything. And then I would go into adding this level of detail, but I don't know, I'm feeling like breaking the rules today, I guess. Not quite sure what I want to do with this because it's going to say sketchbook 15 in it, but I don't want it to be just a square. I want to have some kind of like border or something on it, so we'll figure that out. I think I want to move this arm just to make the pose a little bit more interesting, but I'm not quite sure. I want to bring it up here somehow, but I'm not exactly sure how I would do that. Yo, do you ever guys just have like tired eyes where it's like you yourself aren't tired, but your eyes are like, I think I want to take a nap now. That's how I'm feeling. Should probably figure out that hand situation. I say as I continue to work on the pants. Kind of want to make the seam really thick, and then I can make it like a different color from the rest of the pants. That looks like a thing. Debating if I should zoom in or keep this aesthetic shot. I have a certain vision for what I want the shoes to be, but I can't quite put my idea on paper. Which is nothing new, but still. Gotta draw the little kitty. I haven't actually been drawing animals as much as I would have liked. I want to get better at drawing them, but I'm noticing the pencil smudges easily on this paper, but I guess since I don't actually sketch with a regular lead pencil all that often, it's not the biggest deal to me. I feel like a weirdo because I love drawing wrinkles in clothing, just clothing in general. And that's like one of the most common things that artists complain about is like drawing clothing and stuff. I get asked to do tutorials on a lot of different stuff, and I was planning on making a tutorial on clothing, and I might throw shoes in there, but I have been asked quite a few times about how I draw shoes, and I don't think I'm going to make a full tutorial on drawing shoes, just because I feel like I don't have enough information to give to justify giving it its own video. But one tip I can give right now, you know how sometimes stores that you've shopped at or like have subscriptions to or whatever, they'll have like little mini magazines or whatever, like catalogs, I guess it's the proper term, but they'll send those to you in the mail. I actually got one from Journeys, and I just looked at all of the different shoes and drew them, and then that's how I practiced drawing shoes, and that was so much more helpful than anything else because I really got to look at like all of the different seams and like what puts a shoe together and makes it a shoe. So that's really helpful. Time is coming where I have to make a decision about that square. I wish the sun outside could make up its mind as to what it wants to be today. Florida weather. Am I right? I feel like all I've done since I've moved to Florida is complain about the weather. Sorry, natural born Floridians. I guess I'll just start making a pattern and then see what happens. That was so sexy. This looks like a fancy thing, right? It's not symmetrical, so I should probably make it symmetrical. Woo! Sometimes I forget I can do that. Make sure those are in line. Drew that one a little bit too far out. Far out, dude. Question. When you guys drink tea, if you drink tea, do you leave the tea bag in here? Because I do, but I feel like most people don't, and then I feel like a weirdo. I don't know what I'm doing with this pattern, honestly. I want to do something to bring this pattern elsewhere on the picture. How do you spell 15? 15, there we go. 15, I did it right. I think this will work. If I just put this in the corner here, it'll make the pattern around the writing seem less random. I think it's time for the line art now. So let's take my handy dandy kneaded eraser on my handy dandy notebook. So for the line work, I'm going to be using my handy dandy Copic multi-liners. I have the brush small, which says BS, and I think it's really funny, 0.5 and 0.25. And these are pretty much like my go-to ones. So I'll use the 0.5 for most of the line work. I'll use the 0.25 for the smaller details, and then I'll use the small brush pen for anything that needs to be filled in. I'm kind of curious as to how long this sketchbook is going to take me to finish, because like I said, my current sketchbook isn't even technically finished. I'm going to be relying on Inktober to help me finish that. That sketchbook that I'm currently using and currently finishing up, I've had much longer than I would normally have a sketchbook that size for. I've had it since like the end of May, and it's not the biggest sketchbook in the world, and I did want to take my time with that one because the sketchbooks I had before that, I filled 3 of them each in 2 weeks because they were like really small, tiny moleskin ones. I used to always use one liner only, and then once I was finished outlining everything with that one, I would go in with like a smaller liner. But I don't know, I feel like my art looks weird for a while and I just can't stand it. Because you know how sometimes your art, when you're making it, has to go through an ugly phase before it can actually start looking good? Yeah, I feel like that's what my art is when I like start doing the line art. So do you guys know that Vine where it's like
I don't really wanna do the work today. I don't really wanna do the work today. I don't really wanna do the work today. I don't wanna do the work today.
This might be common knowledge, but I didn't know that. Oh yeah, I wanted to zoom in for the line work. I'm a smarty. I found out that it's actually from a musical called Firebringer, which if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Something about these eyes I'm not loving. Oh well. I mean, there's not really much I can do about it now. It's already on the page. I think I'm actually, like this border and stuff, I think I'm going to make that like without any line art, like just with color and stuff. But I'm not sure what I wanted to do with the actual writing. Haven't actually decided on a color scheme for this. Leave your suggestions in the comments down below. My hand is cramping up a little bit. I'm pretty sure that like a way to stop that is to draw like with your shoulder instead of your wrist. Pretty sure that's like the healthy way to draw. I've never done a healthy thing in my life. I'm just kidding. I was about to give you guys an update on my finger and then I realized that the video where I mentioned that isn't out and won't be out for quite a bit of time. In case you're wondering, here's a finger update. Even though everyone watching will have literally no idea what that is even referencing. What's up? I'm back. It's actually a few days later, so I didn't get the opportunity to finish filming that day. So I got my handy dandy Copic chart. I still haven't completely decided on a color scheme. Obviously, since this is a character of mine, the character has like a skin tone and hair color and stuff, but I don't know what I'm gonna do beyond that. I think what I'm going to do is I'll start coloring the parts that are like definitely like I know what I'm going to do, and then I'll figure out the color scheme for like the outfit and maybe like shading and stuff as I'm going, which probably isn't a good way to do things and I should take the time to figure it out beforehand, but I'm not going to. Yeah, see, these colors go down so much darker. After you give them a little bit, they do lighten up, but it's still it's a thing, you know? I don't know if I want to add these highlight colors in now or if I want to wait until I have a more solid color scheme. I guess I'll just do a light blue and then I can always go over it if I need to. Normally I would use this white gel pen to cover up mistakes, but I'm not sure if that would really work out. I mean, I'm doing it anyway, obviously, but this paper is like it's not a white, it's like an off-white, so I'm not sure if that's really gonna work as well as it normally would. Kind of want to try shading their hair with a little bit more purple color. I normally use just a darker blue, but I am feeling experimental. I get a lot of comments asking what kind of markers I use. The answer is mostly Copic markers, but I do use other brands. Like this color is a Spectrum Noir marker. I do have a couple of Prismas, and then that's it. I feel like that shading got a lot darker than I intended. Whatever, it's okay, I guess. I do have colored pencils that I use at the end of my markers illustrations, so I guess I could just lighten it up there. I guess that whole part's gonna be purple. It's a mistake that I've made, but now I just gotta roll with it. Let's try and add this in the highlights too. Just a little bit to tie it in, I guess. I never really know what to talk about when I'm like talking about my process, so I kind of just end up saying the very obvious parts of what I'm doing. I don't know, there's a lot of parts in art that I don't think about and I just kind of do. And so people ask me about it and be like, how do you do this thing? And I'm like, I don't know, that's a great question. Yeah, I definitely don't know what I'm doing right now. I just realized I low-key forgot Meatball's colors. It's fine. I feel like my shading abilities lately with markers have been not my best work, if I'm being honest. But I don't really know what the issue is. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, you know how sometimes in art you just low-key forget how to do something and then it comes back to you later? I don't know, it might be one of those. I think I might need to go grab a reference picture because I don't remember exactly what these colors are. I can barely see it, but I have a reference picture. Did this zoom out? Rude. I need a new camera. This is not the right color. Everything's going wrong. I also messed up that tail. Meatball's just not having a great time right now. Whoops. Guess it was a mistake making the shading purple. Too late now. Oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That was disgusting. Not that any of you guys needed to know that, but messed up that. It's alright. It just adds character. So I wanted to ask you guys if you would be interested in live streaming, and this isn't like something that's going to be able to happen in the near future, but just as like a general question, like if I were to live stream, would you be interested and would you actually watch them? And if you wouldn't, feel free to say no, I won't be upset. It's not something that like I'm dying to do and it's like a dream of mine. It's just a thought that I've had here and there because there are some video ideas that I would love to do and I feel like it would just be easier to live stream with you guys for those because they involve like you and interactions with you. So yeah, let me know. I think that would be really fun. And obviously not every single live stream would be about a video. Sometimes it could just be me drawing and we'll just be hanging out. And I think that could be really fun. But again, I don't really know and I've never live streamed before, so I don't know how I would go about doing it, but I think that it could be really fun if you guys want. Okay, I picked out colors that I'm going to be using, or at least I think I'm going to be using. The first one I wanted to do is this, because this is the color of Meatball's eyes, and so I want to bring it up into Andy just to make it more cohesive in the color scheme. And then I want the shirt white. So I'll shade it with these warm grays. I feel like the warm grays are gonna look nicer with this little color scheme I have going on. Don't know how dark I want the actual suit part to be. I might use this for the shoes, actually. I feel like if I make it this color, though, I'll need to make the socks darker, just so then that way there's more contrast down here. How does this look against this? I guess we can start there. I really like the way yellow and brown looks together. But I feel like every time I use them, people just immediately associate it with SpongeBob. Which is not the look I'm going for, to be honest with you. SpongeBob is definitely a look, but it's not the look, if you know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean, so if you know what I mean, please let me know. I really need to refill this marker. She is not doing her best right now. Okay. We're heading in a direction, and I mean, I can't say that it's not the direction I was going for, because I don't even know what I was going for, so. Let's see, let's find a really light yellow, just so I can add it a little bit in the highlights of this jacket thing. Let's try adding some of this in the shading. That did not work, all right. I might need to just use colored pencils on that. I don't really have a good marker for that part. Alrighty. Let's try and, this is dying a lot. But I want to try and make it so then like the light color that I put down kind of seems like the highlights, maybe? Yeah, and then this way I can actually add yellow socks without it being bad. Real articulate, as you can tell. Okay, that shoe's kind of shit, but I'm gonna live with it. I think for the socks, I'm going to use the same base color, but then I want to shade it a little bit differently. I definitely need to fix a couple of things using colored pencils, but I like where it is right now. We forgot to shade this part of the leg with a marker. I kind of want to experiment with colored pencils more. I don't really do a whole lot of like finished stuff with colored pencils. Like when I use them, it's more for stuff like this where it's like an accent type of thing. All right, well, we're getting to the part where the finish, let me start over. I'm almost done, is what I'm trying to say, but my brain wouldn't let me. Awesome. All right, let's add this real quick and then this could either ruin it or make it better. Of course, it's gonna look like shit first because of the color issue this paper has. Let's hope that dries and doesn't look whack. Yeah, here's the finished thing. I like it. It's just another drawing. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'm saying I'm done, and yet here I am. And yeah, I'm sure many of you were drawing along while watching this video, so comment down below what you were drawing. I would love to hear it. And also comment those other things, like if you want me to make a tutorial on making this and live streams and whatnot, because I would love to get your feedback on those sort of things. And also, if you have any video recommendations, leave them in the comments below. I feel like that's something that I keep meaning to mention, but don't really end up mentioning. Yeah, if you leave a comment down below with a video idea, there's no guarantee that I'll do it, but I mean, I'm definitely open to suggestions at pretty much any point. So just if you want me to see, if you want to see me do something, feel free to let me know. Oh, wait. Said I was done, but I forgot the important highlights. There we go. Now the baby looks alive. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you are new here because I post art videos every single week, and I do a lot of character stuff. This is my original character, Andy, and I draw a lot of other characters, so if that's something that you're interested in, subscribe. You can also follow me on any social media if you are interested in that. They will be on screen now and linked in the description box below. I am most active on Instagram. I say that, but I haven't posted anything in a while, but I'm most active on Instagram, and I also am just like a human over there, and I talk about just like life stuff, and I'm a little bit more interactive with you guys over there, so follow me there if you can. And there will be a video on screen now and in the iCard for you to check out if you're interested. I would definitely appreciate it. And I'll hopefully see you next week. Bye and have a wonderful day.